Okay, sweet peas, munchkins. This is video number 2. I literally just got done making video number 1. And titled this video by the at the beginning in reference to the date it's uploaded. And since this is the second video, the first video I didn't really put a name. Okay. In the first video I didn't put a name in reference to, at the beginning of the video, in reference to what I wanted the title to be of it. So title it along with this one as by the date it's uploaded at the beginning of the title, and then put in learning disabled woman exposes current gang stalking, La Jolla, California. Okay. Now, my name is Sue Williams. I'm in San Diego, California, and today's date is February 4th, 2014, and I'm going to literally use the phone right now in order to be able to have the phone electronically state the date by using a feature within the menu called the Tools feature, and within that feature... Hang on. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm going to get you guys. Eat the tortilla. I'm talking to my squirrels.
Say a command. February 4th, Tuesday, 8:11 a.m. Say a command.
Alright, now let me show you the icon picture of the phone so you can see that it's February 4th, 2014 at 8:11 a.m. Oh, sorry. Please stay with this video. Now, I want to say something in reference to the purpose and the reason why I made this video. This morning, I am so proud of the voice. I think it's called the Voice of Meryl, okay? And I woke up this morning like I wake up every morning. I don't want no one feeling sorry for me because I am pretty mentally strong when it comes to making sure that no emotions overtake the situation that I live in and experience on a daily basis, because I know that that's one of the aspirations for the perpetrators who are perpetrating the organized stalking and gang stalking of me. I already know that one of their main hopes that they have for the target is to cause the target to just mentally and emotionally collapse, and even spiritually collapse, by beating them down in reference to the abuse, the victimization, the re-victimization, and the traumatizations that they utilize against the targeted individual. I'm in San Diego, California. I live in La Jolla. I have been for the last 15 months in reference to La Jolla, okay, California. Now, this morning, I woke up like I do every morning. I go to the bathroom. I wipe the sleepiness off my eyeballs. I have a morning cigarette. Which I am literally beginning to stop smoking. I'm weaning myself off cigarettes, even though I'm going to have one right now. I'm only going to take a few puffs. Please stay with this video. If you watch the first video, you'll totally understand where I'm going to be going in this one. Okay, check it out. I woke up this morning, and whenever I wake up in the morning, I listen to the Coco dial on the radio. Okay. And I'll be totally honest with that. I usually listen to 107.1 so I can hear the news in reference to what's happening, because the radio show that's on between, I think, 5 and 9, you know, anyways, I usually don't listen to Coco that much anymore. But I turned it on this morning, and I am very glad that I did. I want to thank, I think I don't know what his name is. He used to have the name, he used to have a show on the Coco radio dial called The Voice of Meryl, and he's now actually hosting the morning show now. Chip Franklin used to do it. And I don't normally really listen to this radio show, but I am very glad that I did today, and I am so proud of what they chose to cover today in reference to how they talked about how a activist group is trying to get what's that skank's name downtown? He's the main prosecutor downtown. I'll think of it in a minute. Crap, I can't believe I forgot it. Sorry. The city attorney, Jane Goldsmith. Okay, some activists, group who is trying to they're a watchdog group who tries to make sure that the government is kept in check in reference to any improprieties that they might be doing or possibly involved with. Now, they covered actually 2 segments today that just, if Chip and I think it was Linda and Meryl are now doing the show. If they were in the room with me right now, I'd shake their hand. Okay, and I'm not trying to boast about what kind of a person I am. I'm going to tell you something right now. I don't, well, I'm not even going to go there because it might be taken the wrong way. But I'll just go ahead and say it. If I shake your hand over something you did, that means you got my respect, at least for the day. Because, well, anyways, I know that didn't sound right, and I apologize. I just hope you understand my meaning behind it. See, I'm from down south, and people from down south, God-fearing Christian, God-fearing people that are good people from down south. And I'm not saying that people from up north or in the east don't feel the same way, but I'm a southern woman, okay? And when you do something that's right, we'll shake your hand, and we'll mean it. We'll stick by you, okay? And I'm gonna tell you what they did today. If they were in my presence right now, I'd shake their hand, because what they did was the right thing. They literally used their radio show to talk about how Jane Goldsmith's possible private emails might be being used for business. And if private emails cannot be scrutinized because of privacy laws, and he's using it for business purposes, then those emails cannot be viewed by the public. Which means is it being done for skillful maneuvers in order to possibly hide illegal actions. Okay, now let me get to the second part, and then I'll discuss why this is so important to me, outside of just the average normal complaint concerning that. Then they talked about how Jane Goldsmith hired a private detective to try to follow a victim of Officer Alvarez. He's an ex-officer. He's in prison right now. Okay, and he was sexually harassing and sexually exploiting victims he would pull over for traffic tickets. Anywhere from between DUIs and running red lights and shit like that. Hold on. Now I want to tell you something. I was going through my records about 2.5 weeks ago in reference to, because I had to call the police anywhere between 17 and 21 separate times in the year of 2012 because of me being gang stalked. Okay? And every time that they came out, and I physically requested them, while they were in my presence, to them, for them to make a police report pertaining to the fact that I am being gang stalked, and every single last one of them said no. So I said, well, sorry. I said, well then, can I at least make an incident report? And they said, some of them said yes, and a couple others said, well, there's no reason to. Officer Alvarez was one of them, because recently I went through some of those 2011 and 12 incident reports. Okay, and even when they refused to make an incident report, I at least asked them to write down their name for me. Okay, well, I went through all those little pieces of paper that were given to me, and Officer Alvarez was one of them. My mouth almost dropped, because before he was arrested and indicted and then prosecuted and then found guilty, I had no reason for him to stand out in my mind. Okay, and then once the months went by and I had those pieces of papers put away, okay, I was not going over them and reviewing them in reference to, well, who was the last officer I talked to, because there were so many of them. I mean, Officer Brent, Whitfield, numerous ones. Okay, and I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever that I'm sure that there's a great likelihood that they filed falsified incident reports. And by the way, listen to this. Did you know that a victim of a crime who asks for an incident report to be made cannot go down and get the incident report? That they're only left for officers' records and city employees' records, like the records department, which means that, like, say if I have undisputable evidence now that I'm a target of gang stalking. If I ever found an uncorrupt lawyer, and hopefully if the case got pipelined before an uncorrupted judge, because this is organized crime in the system, make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. Okay? The evidence I got is undisputable. It's literally in your face. Literally undisputable. It's literally that good. Okay? So they could go, what I'm trying to say is they can always go back and see if they falsified incident reports and this shit gets totally out of hand, they could go back and take all the falsified statements they made in them and tweak them to make them appear that Miss Williams had a complaint that she was possibly being stalked, or Miss Williams had a complaint that she thinks that maybe some gang members might be bothering her. Do you understand what I'm saying? Instead of filing the falsified incident reports, because the evidence would make it appear that I was a victim of this crime, so they can't make it appear that their motivations were to discredit me to eventually try to do what I mentioned in the first video. Okay, in reference to how falsified police reports and incident reports are used to take syndicated probate control of a target in order to call out their finances, exploit their insurance, and exploit the target sexually in a syndicated run, organized crime group home. The falsified incident reports, police reports, and doctor reports are what they use to gain the syndicated probate control. But if the evidence is so overwhelming, they think to themselves, well, if we file all these falsified incident reports, it's going to show that they were involved in it. So they keep them until they can see how this shit's going to turn out, and if it turns out bad for them, they're going to go back and retweet them. Do you understand what I'm saying? So their criminal involvement in it isn't noticed, is what I'm saying. Okay. So the point I'm trying to make is this, is that Officer Alvarez was sexually harassing, sexually assaulting these women he was pulling over. Now, one of the victims, okay, who was even told supposedly by the, one of the women who was told that by the chief of police that she was a hero, Jan Goldsmith has turned around and hired a private investigator to follow her around for 2 weeks, track her, stalk her, and monitor her for 2 weeks, okay? And then the private investigator filed a report that is demeaning and full of lies, trying to portray her as being promiscuous and sexually, that her behavior has sexual connotations to it, and that they're inappropriate. She's a sexual harassment victim suing the city. The city hires a private investigator who files reports that she's sexually promiscuous. Boom. Basically what he's doing is trying to portray, attack her character, to make her even look like she was responsible for the behaviors of Alvarez, okay, that she excited him, and that there was no sexual harassment involved, therefore she cannot sue the city. Now, I was sexually harassed by 2 San Diego Sheriff's officers inside the Hall of Justice on February 20th, 2014. That's right. That's right. Caught on audio as it was occurring. I filed a complaint form that I had the Sheriff's Department Internal Affairs mail me. They mailed it to me. I got it, filled it out, sent it back to them. They never got back to me once by mail, email, or phone. Hold on. Okay. Listen to what else happened on February 20th, 2013. On the same day, 3 separate things happened on the same day. A San Diego District Attorney's Office officer implied that I was mentally ill because I went to his office. I went to Bonnie Damascus's office to go there to ask them why they did not reply back to sent emails to them. Okay, and now even sent faxes to them pertaining to the fact that MTS sent me an altered video of me being assaulted. Go to YouTube and type in learning disabled woman brutally assaulted on an MTS bus. That's right. Make sure that you review meticulously and slowly everything that is in the description of that YouTube video. I haven't really looked at that video, okay, in reference to, lately, but what's in the description of that YouTube video is at least the YouTube video and 2 blogs. Click on the blogs, because in one of them there's an attached PDF link. Once you open that up, the attached PDF link is titled Assault 11. Once you open that up, you'll see that I predicted that assault 11 days before it occurred in an email file. You'll see MTS sent me some documentation showing that it occurred 11 days later in reference to the September 29, 2011 email. Okay, that is also in the PDF link. Okay, and you'll see that that I had to go to Scripps Mercy Hospital, who refused after I made at least 6 to 7 to 8 verbal requests to take X-rays of my neck and head. They refused. They wouldn't do it. Okay, so And was I, well, I'm not even going to go there because I can't prove it, so at least, I don't think I can. I'm not sure what was said around me inside the Scripps Mercy Hospital, so I got to go back and review that audio file. Let me just play you some evidence here to show you that I'm a victim of gang stalking, right in your face evidence. What you're about ready to hear occurred on a sidewalk. 8 days. 8 days. Oh, hold it. Now, I know you're probably thinking this woman is not... Just stay with me for a second, because I'm having a cognitive reset because I forgot to mention something about the MTS assault. After you watch the video of me being assaulted, and then look at that email, that PDF link that's in the blog, that's in the description of that YouTube video of me being assaulted, then go to Google and YouTube and type in Learning Disabled Woman Exposes How MTS Assault Video is Altered. Now, once you review the blogs and YouTube videos concerning that, go to YouTube and type in MTS buses. And then look for any tourists, students, or any other persons who might be taking video pictures inside of an MTS bus, so you can be able to see the actual factual structure of an MTS bus, or get on an MTS bus and take a video of it, and then compare it to the assault video, and then compare it to the statements made in YouTube videos and blogs concerning how Learning Disabled Woman Exposes How MTS Assault Video is Altered. When I went down to the San Diego District Attorney's Office on February 20th, 2013, I went down there to follow up on emails that were sent to them, and now faxes have been sent to them. Before the October 10th, 2013 2-year expiration date, in reference to me supposedly having the legal ability to file a lawsuit against MTS. Bullshit, because they obstructed justice by sending me altered materials of discovery, which is evidence. So the 2-year time period that I have supposedly to file a lawsuit against MTS does not apply, because they were contacted that I noticed the video was altered. The district attorney's office was, the police was. They were all notified. All of them were notified, and they did not. I waited for them to do their job. They didn't do it. As a result, time went by. That's right. And then eventually the 2-year time limit went up. But the proper offices and law enforcement were notified by me. All of it caught on audio. That's right, baby cakes, because I just do not care. My rights are being violated to the extreme. To the extreme. Okay? And these criminal whores aren't doing their jobs. So I have every right to do what I got to do to protect myself, keep myself safe, and prove that my civil rights are being intentionally violated. He called me mentally ill when I went down there and told them that the video MTS is altered. Instead of him saying, well, Miss Williams, do you have a disc of the video so I can look at it to see if it's altered and so then we can investigate it? Or instead he said, well, what was the police officer's name that investigated it so I can get with him, look at the video, and then if it is altered, then I can investigate why he didn't investigate it, and then we can take it from there. Instead of him saying that, he said, well, from what you're telling me, it sounds like you're mentally ill. Even though I told him that San Diego police officers were briefed on the fact that the video was altered, and even how it was altered. He called me mentally ill. So check it out. I then left his office, caught 3 buses, okay, to take care of some business, and then to go to get a t-shirt made. And after I got off the bus to go to the shop to get the t-shirt made, guess who appeared along my path? An individual who was gaslighting me with gang stalking physical gestures. So I asked him, I go, who put you on this corner? And as I was asking him that, a San Diego police officer pulled up in front of us, did a U-turn, and he gaslighted me. So I go, was it him? And the guy goes, yes. I go, really? A San Diego police officer put you on this corner? He goes, yes. I go, really? What was his name? He goes, Steve. Now, if he was lying, why would he come up with the name Steve, for one? And that was caught on audio file. So how mentally ill do you believe that I am? On November 20th, 2013, I told a UCSD campus police officer that every single time I go on UCSD campus, individuals get around me and constantly repeat gang stalk. And I said, it's happened so much that I even predict it's going to happen before I arrive on campus in a video and in an audio file. He didn't say nothing. What you're about ready to hear is an event that took place 8 days later on a sidewalk, right up the street from UCSD. Hold on. Hold on, baby. I'm talking to my squirrel. Okay, so as these guys are harassing me and threatening me, do you hear them say gang stalk? Excuse me. Together. Then one of them says gang stalking, and then that same one says gang stalking, I'm going to F you up. 8 days. 8 days after I told a UCSD campus police officer that individuals get around me every time I go on their campus and repeat gang stalk. 8 days on a sidewalk right up the street from UCSD. So think about this. This is not on UCSD property, okay? But the same method is being utilized around me by these two individuals, as they intentionally obstructed my ability to continue to ride my bike, which means I had to get off of it. You'll hear a screech. That's my bike brakes. They literally walked in front of me intentionally and obstructed my ability to keep going, giving me the finger and everything, which started the verbal altercation. Okay, and then they were harassing me. Okay, and then obstructing my ability to be able to continue to ride my bike, so I had to get off it. Then they started threatening me. And as they're doing all of it, listen to what they're saying. Gang stalk together, gang stalking, and gang stalking, I'm going to F you up. And pay close attention to this personal notation. Let me light my cigarette first, because this one is going to show you, while they're doing it, obviously shows you that this was done deliberately. Hold on a second. Just the doing it shows you that this was done deliberately. But, let me just show you something. Let me just make a point here. You're going to hear them both say gang stalk together at the same time. The only way, when you got two people standing around you, and as verbalizations are interacting with the victim, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, they say gang stalk together. The only way that that could be harmonized and synchronized for them to do that together, to say it at the same exact time, is if one physically, visually signaled the other to do it. And then, in other words, they conspired to do this before they walked out of the parking lot to obstruct my ability to continue to ride my bike. What they basically did was they had a meeting of the minds. They were told to be there as I was riding my bike, to then walk in my path to obstruct my ability to continue to ride my bike, then to start verbally harassing me, then to say this together. Because think about this. They had to know who I was in order to know, to get around me, to say gang stalk. Hold on. In other words, there was intent. There was malice aforethought and criminal intent to do this because of the way the harassment was brought about. When you got two people, okay, because they were being tape recorded as it was happening by me, okay, so you don't hear them say to one another, okay, say it now. You don't hear either one of them say, okay, right now is the time. What you hear is these two guys say gang stalk together without any other verbalizations before it. So basically what they were doing was they planned this. They obviously planned it because, for one, I don't know these individuals personally at all, so they should not know I'm being gang stalked. For two, they engaged in the same exact behavior that I got 800 audio files proving the same exact technique being used around me everywhere I go. In the same exact identical way, except for the threats. Okay? Now, in order for them to get along my path, to obstruct my ability to ride my bike, and then harass me and threaten me while they're saying gang stalk, and then they both say gang stalk together without any other statements being made right before it, shows that one hand signaled the other for them to say it together, gang stalk, which meant that there was criminal intent to do it, that they conspired to do this in this specific way before I was approaching the sidewalk that they were intentionally put on to obstruct my ability to continue to ride my bike in order to harass me. Which means that they had planned this before they were put along my route to do it. Because there's no verbalizations for one to say, okay, now's the time to say it. Which meant they hand signaled, one hand signaled the other, they then both said gang stalk. And the hand signal was for that person to say, like, in other words, one of them said they conspired to do this, which meant that they had the verbalizations with each other to say, when I do this, or when I do this, or when I do this, we both say gang stalk. And you're about ready to hear it right now, because you're not going to hear them say anything else before they both say gang stalk, which means that they signaled each other to do it, which means that they planned to do it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because there's no other way. How would one person, one human being, know to say gang stalk as the other one's saying it at the same exact time if there's no verbal instructions to do it? Do you see what I'm saying? So listen. this event occurred on Thanksgiving Day, 2013. On January 30th, 2014, they set an individual up to walk by me on the opposite side of the street that this happened on. And they told him, once he gets parallel to me, if she takes a video, if you think that she's got a video picture, if you see her with her video camera, walk across the street and assault her, and blame it on her for taking a video picture of you. And you might think to yourself, well, how could they craft this? Listen to this. They know that I'm responding to people who have harassed me on previous occasions. See, the guy who assaulted me on January 30th, 2014 was seen by me talking to these two individuals on 2 separate occasions. He was also used on at least 2 other occasions to gaslight me with physical gestures out and about in the community, over at Ross grocery store and on sidewalks. So he was seen at least 4 separate times by me. Now, cyber surveillance is a method of gang stalking. You better believe it is. I'm about ready to play you the audio of a gang stalking target being covered on the news. And you'll flat out hear a police officer saying that they have now reached out into the cyber world. I'm getting ready to play it to you right now. You can go to YouTube and type in gang stalking bullying on steroids to see a gang stalking target being covered on the news, okay, from Santa Cruz. And you'll be able to watch the video that this audio is coming from. Now, as a result of previous occasions of them putting people along my path to harass me, okay, on previous occasions, they then re-put that person along my route, and they know that on separate occasions I have taken out my video camera to take a video picture of them to upload that to the internet, or to keep it as private until after I feel that it's a right time to expose them. So, as a result of my YouTube account being hacked by them, they know that in the past I have responded by taking video pictures of people who have engaged in organized stalking, gang stalking, harassment of me. So they thought to themselves, okay, we know how she's reacting to it. So what they did was look for a normal appearing excuse to place an individual that they have used in the past to walk by me, believing that that will provoke me to take out my video camera. I take a video picture of him, and then they use him to use that excuse to assault me. Now, on January 30th, 2014, when I spotted him, I stopped and sat on a ledge. I took the video camera discreetly out of my pocket, cuffing it with my hands so it could not be seen. I then turned it on and then continued to cuff it with my hands. In fact, in the video, you can literally even see that the video camera was cuffed in my hands because my fingers are in the way of the little video picture. And then I only lifted the video camera up for 2 seconds as he was going by me. I lifted it up and I go, there he is right there, boom. And then I took the video camera back down, and during that fast 2 seconds, he then crosses the street. Hold on. He then crosses the street and says, you have no right to be taking video pictures of me. I'm going to call the police. I said, I don't know what you're talking about. Get the fuck away from me. Okay? So guess what he does? Hold on. If you feel inclined to do so, go to any Walmart or any other bike shop or anything and buy a helmet. Or if you have a bike helmet in your physical possession, get a bike helmet. And take that bike helmet in your hand. Hold on. Take that bike helmet in your hand and take it and just tap your jaw with it like that. Hard enough for it to where you feel it hurt just a little bit. And the reason why I'm telling you to do that, don't hurt yourself. That's the last thing I want you to do, especially children that are watching this. Children that are watching this, do not do that at all. What I'm trying to explain to you is that when you look at the physical integrity of a bike helmet, and you just tap your jaw with it hard enough to the point to where it hurts you just a teeny bit, to where you feel the pain, picture a bike helmet in your hand being violently, okay, what he basically did was he took his bike helmet and he violently went like that, trying to hit my face and my head with it. Now, I was wearing bike gloves at the time. Hold on a second. And the reason why I bought these bicycle gloves was because I knew they had already assaulted me on 2 other occasions, threatened to assault me again on 3 other separate occasions before this one. This is the glove I was wearing, except for picture it on this hand instead. Okay, so when he did that, well, let me just here. This is the wrong glove. This is the right glove. Picture, this is my bike glove was on my left hand. So when he did that, I lifted up my hand really fast, and the glove caught the helmet. He violently did it. I'm talking about violently, full force, and he went after my head, my face. That's right. They put him along my route to do this about 60 feet down the street on the same sidewalk that this Thanksgiving event occurred on. And he was seen by me on at least 2 separate occasions talking to these guys. They're using homeless people. Because homeless people are hard to trace down after an event occurs. That's right. And so the police, the syndicated cops that are connected to this, can say, well, how are we supposed to find him, Leslie? He's homeless. And most homeless people just normally don't appear to have any identification. How convenient. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Hold on a second. Now all you got to do is realistically deliberate this in your mind. If they'll alter an MTS video of me being assaulted and then let that perpetrator walk away, just like they let the perpetrator walk away who assaulted me at a bus stop at Rosecrans and Nimitz Boulevard on August 17th, 2011. They let that bitch walk, excuse my language, but they let that guy walk straight away. Just because he denied he assaulted me. They let him walk away. They let that individual walk right away and then would not file an incident report. So, all you got to do is look at the fact that a professor at USD by the name of Eric Pearson, who's a professor in communications that specializes in videos and images, he saw a still framed snapshot of the part of the of a section of the video that showed the compromised, altered. He saw basically I took a video picture of a still frame of the video that showed the structure of the bus compromised, in reference to how they altered it. He saw it online and posted it to a website called First Post. I got the printout to show it was Eric Pearson that did it. And then I looked up who he is and what he is a professor in. Communications that specializes in videos and images. That was even told by the investigator of the assault. They completely ignored it. Completely. Why? Was I being gang-stalked on USD campus? You better believe I was. You better believe I was. And I'm about ready to prove it to you right now. In November of 2011, I made a video on USD campus stating that individuals in the library and students were engaging in gang-stalking physical gestures. Write down these dates. November 2011. That's right. On their campus, I made a video stating that library staff and students were engaging in gang-stalking physical gestures. Write that date down. Then, on December 5th, 2011, I was sitting at a bus stop, the Stonecrest Plaza Walmart bus stop, which is a bus stop dedicated to the bus route I was assaulted on. As I was waiting for the bus, I made a video. Okay? That video stated that I was being gang-stalked with physical gestures along all my routes, including on bus routes and at universities. It was published the next day, on November 6th, 2011. Then on January 28, 2012, almost 2 full complete months later from the December 5th video being made and uploaded on the 6th, I caught 3 teenagers admitting they were put on the 928 bus route to engage in these physical gestures, a bus route I was already on. They got put on it after I was already on it. So, by a third party by the name of Jamar. When I caught these 3 teenagers admitting it, they were being tape recorded. Okay? So, all you got to do is look at it this way. I caught 3 teenagers admitting they were put on a bus route I was already on, the same bus route I was assaulted on, to engage in these physical gestures. Okay? That I was already exposing happening to me on USD campus and on the bus routes. So what is the likelihood of me catching 3 teenagers admitting they were put on a bus route to intentionally, deliberately engage in these physical gestures towards me by a third party I do not know at all, okay, on January 28, 2012, when I was already exposing it happening to me on USD campus by library staff and students, and on bus routes? Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay? Now, my name is Leslie Williams, and as soon as I find the time, I will enclose the YouTube titles of that November YouTube video, and if you can listen to those 3 teenagers admitting they were put on that bus route to engage in these physical gestures by going to YouTube and typing in "learning disabled woman catches gang stalker admitting sent to harass read comments." Okay? And the read comments of the title means look in the description of that YouTube video and you will see the December video that was made. That YouTube video is in the description of that YouTube video, but the USD one hadn't been titled yet at that time. I just uploaded it and never got to title it, but I did just recently title it in the last few months. I just don't know it by heart, but understand, I can prove that that video is online. Now, in October, I think it was October 7th, 2013, I caught a UCSD student admitting to me in a hidden running tape recorder that he was put at Gilman and Myers to engage in these physical gestures. 2 days later, I then caught another UCSD student at the bus stop right across the street from the Ralphs off at La Jolla Village Square admitting that he was put there to engage in physical gestures. Now, they know I caught this shit. They know it because I uploaded the audio files of it to the internet, and cyber surveillance is a method of gang stalking, which you're about ready to hear, okay? Which you're about ready to hear right now by listening to the audio of that YouTube video, Gang Stalking Bullying on Steroids, which is a video of a gang stalking target being covered on the news. Listen to how it states that gang stalking has been going on forever in reference to a Santa Cruz Police Department officer by the name of Larry Richards stating that gang stalking has been going on forever and that it's even reached out into the cyber world. So they know I got these videos online. And if I'm being gang stalked at UCSD and they're trying to cover it up, and they know that I got this evidence pertaining to UCSD students admitting they were put in my path to engage in these gang stalking physical gestures, then they're going to want to cover their ass pertaining to what's happened to me on their campus. You better believe it. You better believe it. So are they staging complaints to make it appear they got a normal appearing reason to ban me from the library, which I'm using to expose what's happening to me? That's like taking somebody's phone away from them when they're trying to call for help to expose what's happening to them. They want to take internet resources away from me because I'm using the internet resources to expose what's happening to me, which will keep the public from being able to visually see what's happening to me and where it's happening to me at. And the only way they can do that is to stage complaints about me and then send me letters stating that Leslie's getting all these complaints about her while we're just trying to keep our library being used for normal, resources for our students. Yeah, isn't that just nice? I get letters from them stating that Miss Williams is harassing our staff, Miss Williams is doing this, which is compromising the normal operations of our library facilities. These people are nothing but complete bold-faced liars. Literally. Now, I want you to listen to this.
This story on our website, kcba.com. Due to not police call it bullying on steroids. We're talking about gang stalking, but it actually has nothing to do with the gangs that you first think of. Southern Coast News reporter Candace Wynn learned more about the trend and how it's getting more dangerous because of the internet. It makes me so afraid.
Lawrence Gavino claims his neighbors are gang stalking him because he plays loud music late at night and is outspoken. He said for the last year and a half he's been systematically followed by a group of people. At one point he said they climbed on his roof to harass him. Gavino said he's developed a paranoia that's devastated his relationships with friends and, worst of all, family.
That's the worst part of it. If it was me, I would take action.
Santa Cruz Police Lieutenant Larry Richards said police are becoming more aware of gang stalking because of cyberbullying. But what is gang stalking? Basically, the victims could be driving their car or talking on their phones or walking the streets when a group of people try to systematically terrorize them.
Alright, now before I continue to play the audio of that, I'm going to go back to that. Listen to what this news reporter just said. That the victim can be driving their car, talking on their phone, or walking the streets when a group of people try to systematically terrorize them. This event occurred 8 days after I told a UCSD campus police officer that individuals are getting around me and saying gang stalking. This occurred on Thanksgiving Day on a sidewalk. Listen to how they're saying gang stalking. Okay, now what's the likelihood of that happening? Think about this. What do you think? I just made up in my mind that individuals are getting around me all over UCSD campus and saying gang stalk everywhere I go, which is their way to remind me that I'm a victim of this crime, to keep me mentally preoccupied about it, to make me feel victimized concerning it? Do you think I was able to just make that up out of the blue? Just make up some kind of a crazy story that individuals are getting around me and saying gang stalk everywhere I go on their campus, and then 8 days later these guys get along my path, obstruct my ability to continue to ride my bike. The screeching you hear is my bike brakes. Then I had to get off the bike in order to try and ride the bike around them so I wouldn't fall off the sidewalk, okay? And then as they're harassing me, they're saying gang stalk together, gang stalking, and gang stalking, I'm going to F you up. Now, this audio file was even played to UCSD campus police on January 9, 2014, the day after a biomedical library staff complained that I was harassing him when I wasn't. I asked him, and I didn't even know he was biomedical library staff when I asked him this, so I wouldn't have said jack shit to him. He walked out of the back of the building of the biomedical library, and I did notice that is where he walked from. As he walked by me, I said, hey, those are really cool sunglasses. And he didn't hear me, so I go, hey. And guess what he did? He turned around and said, leave me alone. I'm calling the police. I'm calling the police. I'm calling the police. You were the one who was banned here for a year. And then he went back into the biomedical library and called library security. And then I got a letter about it on January 27, 2014, dated on the letter January 22nd. But on the same day, January 9, 2014, after I left the biomedical library, 2 UCSD campus police officers were standing at their police cars right on my way to the bus stop. So I stopped and told them about what was happening to me on their campus, even verbalizing to them that Club Med restaurant employees, a restaurant on their campus, was engaging in the same methods, and that biomedical library staff was as well. That's right. That's right. And so then I went back to UCSD about 2 or 3 times since then, and then all of a sudden, on January 27, 2013, a library security officer by the name of Arthur comes in the biomedical library and hands me a letter stating that as a result of what happened on January 9, 2014, me harassing a biomedical library staff member, and then even following him back into the biomedical library, which made him feel unsafe, which I didn't. I walked back inside the biomedical library to continue to do my work that I had left on the computer. I was working on a computer, decided to take a break, so I wrote a note, please do not use, be right back. Walked out, went to go take a break. That's when he came out of the building, walked by me. I said, those are really cool sunglasses. Where'd you get them from? And then I go, hey, because he didn't hear me. I guess he had earphones on or something. So I go, hey, and then that's when he said, leave me alone, leave me alone. I'm calling the police, I'm calling the police, I'm calling the police. You were the one that was banned here for a year. Then he went back into the library and stood at the counter. So I thought, now what's happening? So then I went back into the library to use the computers that my stuff that I was already using the computer. See, I already had Windows open up on the computer I was using that I left a sign on that said, be right back. I went back into the biomedical library to continue to use the computer, and when I seen him at the counter, I walked up to the counter and talked to the biomedical library staff behind the counter. And I said, what's his problem? You know, like, what's going on is what I meant to say, okay? And then the biomedical library staff, the guy named Kevin, he says, well, I guess he thought what you said to him was inappropriate. And then the guy walks back behind the counter acting like me approaching him was being threatening, okay? And then as I walked to the counter to say what was going on, he goes, get away from me, get away from me. It was a staged event. And now they'll say, by seeing this video, they'll say, do you see how paranoid Leslie is? Now Leslie thinks that everybody's doing all this stuff because she's being gang stalked. What they're doing is covering their ass. They're staging these events to make it appear that they got a normal appearing reason to write letters. And why do I say that? On November 20th, 2013, and the same day, I talked to a UCSD campus police officer and told him that individuals are getting around me along all of my routes on their campuses and repeating gang stalk. Hang on. After I got done talking to that UCSD police officer and telling him that on November 20th, 2013, 8 days before this Thanksgiving event, I told... I was telling a UCSD campus police officer in front of the guys at the library that individuals are getting around me every single day on their campus and saying gang stalk. I even told him that I predicted that my tape recorder will pick it up in an audio file and in a video file before I even go to their campus. I literally told him that I make video predictions and audio predictions about what I'll experience on their campus before I even arrive. And then it's caught on tape recorder once I get there. Okay? I then, after I talked to him, I then went inside the LajOlla library and used the computers for about an hour and 40 minutes. I then get up from using the computers and went to the bathroom. I take care of my business in the bathroom, come out of the bathroom, and put water in my water bottle at the water fountain. I then, after I do that, I start walking out of the LajOlla library. 2 library security officers approach me to hand me a code of conduct policy. Hold on. Now, this was after the 1-year ban was up. Okay, after an event happened in 2012, which is highly suspect. Just stay with me, because this is going to blow your mind. So as I'm going to walk out of the LajOlla library for the day, 2 library security officers approached me to hand me a library code of conduct and policy, okay, stating that they recognize that the 1-year ban is up, and that I'm now allowed to use the library on probationary status. I said okay, and I make them understand that I realize that there's no that taking video pictures of people in their libraries is that I will not do. Okay, and then they said they go you are on probation right now. Okay, the 1-year ban is up, but you're on probationary status, and that if anybody complains about you, or if there's any incidences, then you might be banned permanently. And I said, well, what if it's a stage complaint? They said, yes, that too. Caught on audio file. Now, why would he say that? Think about this. If a library security officer walked up to you and said to you that if there's any more complaints concerning you, okay, that you might be banned, and then you say, well, what if it's a stage complaint, and if there's actually nothing really going on, that person should say, I don't understand what you mean. That don't make sense. Or why would you say something like that? Instead, he says, yes, that too. It was an open, wide open, it was a wide open verbally statement that was clearly said by me to them. I literally said, well, what if it's a stage complaint? And he said, yes, that too. They were basically flaunting it in my face that what they were planning on doing. 2 months before this January event occurred. Using a biomedical library staff member to do it, and, listen to this, biomedical library staff were already being exposed throughout the entire year 2012 before I was banned for a year. And in those videos that I was making on their campus between May of 2012 and November of 2012, I was stating that biomedical library staff and students were walking by me and saying gang stalking in the biomedical library. In the biomedical library. Over a year and a half before this event was caught on an audio file on a sidewalk right up the street from UCSD. Got to do is look at it realistically. Do you honestly believe that I'm psychic? Do you honestly believe that I thought to myself way back in 2011 or early 2012 that I thought to myself, all I got to do is say people are getting around me and saying gang stalk, yeah, and then accuse somebody of doing it and then acquire evidence of somebody doing it? In other words, how can I make up some kind of a lie in reference to the actual words that are being used around me in order to be able to bullshitly say that people are doing this and then catch somebody doing it? Do you understand what I'm saying? I caught gang stalk, gang stalker, gang stalking, gang stalk, oh my god, weird, crazy, gang stalk being said around me every single day on SDSU campus. at times on USD campus, on UCSD campus, by a North University branch manager, North University San Diego Public Library branch manager. So why is all this happening? Are the San Diego Public Library systems on one centralized computer system? I got a ruler right now in my backpack. It's a white ruler with blue lettering. It says that USD, SDSU, UCSD, and all the San Diego Public Libraries and California State San Marcos are all on one computerized system. Now, in 2012, a UCSD campus police officer accidentally slipped and told me that USD contacted them about me. And I was already being gang-stalked on USD campus. And they staged an event within a half hour after I predicted they would. I predicted that. I predicted in a video, let's see if anything happens in this library. Yeah, I made the video inside the USD library. I took a picture of me, and I said, let's see if anything happens in this library today. It happened on May 21st, 2011. 12. I said, let's see if anything happens towards me in this library. Okay? I then waited. I made the video about 7:30, and then I started doing my work, and then it came about 10 o'clock, and I thought, well, I better upload this video. So I uploaded the video to YouTube. And you can see that this video was published on that date, at that specific time. And then within a half hour, USD police approached me and tried to say that a student complained about what I was watching on the internet. I was periodically watching a Steven Seagal movie that I had never seen before. And there was a little clip in the movie of some girls dancing in a nightclub. How was I supposed to know, for one, that that was going to happen? And then I told them that, and they said, well, that's a logical complaint. But then guess what they did after that? They said, what are you doing with that knife? I had a pocket knife this long, which is legal, a legal pocket knife, under my shirt. But I didn't notice, and then when he said, what are you doing with that knife, I then lifted up my shirt, and I said, you mean this one? And then I talked to myself after the event happened, how did he see it? Because I had to literally lift up my shirt in order to be able to say, what, this one? So how did he know I had a pocket knife? I bought the pocket knife at Walmart, where I caught gang stalking happening around me every single time in the same exact identical way. Gang stalking being said around me. And every single time I went to that Walmart at Stonecrest Plaza, where I made that video at, right across the street from at the bus stop on November 6, 2011, when I was hiking 175 feet away from the San Diego FBI. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. So, when we look at all these things and synthesize them together and cross-reference dates and everything, and I do apologize I don't have that USD YouTube video title on me right now, because I didn't even really plan on talking about USD in this. It just kind of came out in sub-details, and so I ended up having to explain the sub-details. The point I'm trying to make is this, is that what these filthy whores are doing is protecting their ass. But why was the gang stalking of me initiated against me in these libraries? How did they know I came back to San Diego on August 8, 2011? I've been gang stalked from the second I got off the Greyhound bus, every single day. How did they know it? And what are they protecting? Well, let me just maybe explain what they might be protecting. I was out here in San Diego between 1 and 38 days in 2006. And I was being gang stalked along all my routes, except that back then I didn't know what was happening to me was gang stalking, but I did know I was being stalked because they were intentionally letting me know I was being stalked by engaging in certain behaviors that were identical. So I went to the Point Loma Library between those 1 and 38 days using the computers, and I was sending emails to Amnesty International, to a prosecutor in Wayne, Michigan. And I was also making statements in these emails about some of the things that were happening towards me in the Point Loma Library. Describing things. The things that I was describing are gang stalking methods that are all over the internet. They know these 2006 emails exist and describe these things. And Point Loma Library staff was mentioned in them, along with their security and other individuals pertaining to some of the things they were doing. So they know these 2006 emails exist, pointing out library staff being involved in gang stalking. Now, libraries and library staff, these are government employees who do receive government pensions. So, at the beginning of this video, I talked about how Jane Goldsmith is going after a sexual harassment victim. That's right, in order to save the city money, by literally hiring a private investigator and trying to imply that she's got promiscuous behavior because she hugs and kisses her boyfriend. That's right. In order to make it look like the sexual harassment by Officer Alvarez was not really sexual harassment because she's a promiscuous person. Do you see the whoredom of our San Diego officials? The only thing they care about is money. Protecting money. They don't give a shit about brutal assaults. They don't give a shit about every single crime that I have suffered because of gang stalking, and all my other fellow targeted individuals who are being gang stalked right now in San Diego, because they know the police are involved in this shit, which means they can be fired, they can be prosecuted, they can be put in prison, and the city can be sued. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit at all. Anybody that would assault a learning disabled woman on an MTS bus, alter the video of me being assaulted, go into my email accounts and hack into my email accounts and erase the email prediction, then brutally assault me again on 2 other occasions, and then attempt to do so again on 3 other ones. Do you really honestly think that these people give 2 shits about women? They don't give a flying you-know-what about women. So, let me do this, and in closing, let me also show you the same method being utilized around me on a bus in Yucca Valley, California, which is 169 miles away from San Diego County. I went to Yucca Valley for 1 week. I left this area to go there on December 6th, 2000. I left the night of December 5th, got there on the night of December 6th, 2012. I was gang stalked along all my routes every single day, everywhere I went, even at the Yucca Valley Library, even on Yucca Valley bus routes. And you're about ready to hear it. Do you hear men say gang stalk and gang stalker while individuals are saying and repeating oh my god before it and after it? I had already had videos published all over the internet between late 2011 and all throughout 2012 that individuals are getting along all my routes in San Diego County and repeating gang stalk, oh my god, we're crazy, gang stalk, oh my god, along all my routes in San Diego. These individuals are on a bus route Landers in Yucca Valley, California. And what you're going to hear is individuals say, oh my god, then other ones say gang stalker practically right afterwards, and then after gang stalk is said, oh my god is said again, then gang stalk is said again, and then a woman flat out says gang stalking. Just listen.
Oh, okay.
Well, look at that car right there. So cute. To the left, it just turned.
No.
Those little French cars. Right now?
You first child? Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully my
homie drives. They'll take the whole thing. The first one, the roughest one hold it.
She never tried.
I'm going to go hang it up. I think in my,
She's already talking.
I'm going to take my American flag out. Little kind of flag. Take it out. I'm going to hang it in the window and I'm going to put it on the I wish I did these things. Oh, yeah. When they look at Rich, oh, yeah, that might work. Now, it's American flag.
You know, I'm going to be really mad if you stopped right here, because we could have...
Yeah, we are. They say in 15 years when you put an RFID chip in all newborns.
We could have not walked all the way to Walmart from the Social Security office.
There's so
many buses that go.
It's a radio frequency identification implant. You never heard of that? Google it. You got kids, you should.
I hope they're going. That's beautiful.
Now, let me just check the time availability on this. Okay, so all you got to do is understand that these places that have been used in the gang stalking of me, they will protect their institutions and their employment. You better believe they will, and they'll do it by staging complaints to make it appear that they got a normal appearing reason to ban me.
This story on our website, KCBA.com. Due to not police call it bullying on steroids. We're talking about gang stalking, but it actually has nothing to do with the gangs that you first think of. Southern Coast News reporter Candace Wynn learned more about the trend and how it's getting more dangerous because of the internet. It makes me so afraid.
Alright, so you can listen to this YouTube video by going to YouTube and typing in gang stalking bullying on steroids. It's a targeted individual being covered on the news. So if Jan Goldsmith has got illegal or inappropriate emails that are pertaining to inappropriate or illegal things that are happening in his office, would they want that on his city attorney email account? Is that why business is being conducted in his private email? I appreciate you listening, and have a nice day.